What are some of the deadly traps and how can you avoid them as a new HR leader? Join me in this discussion as we advise on how best you can be able to successfully build your career as an HR professional. As usual, I am joined by our CEO, who also happens to be one of our HR leaders or HR consultants that we have. He'll be helping me in this discussion. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are looking at a new HR leader in every organization.
Yeah.
And the question that I have is, what are the key expectations, first of all, that every organization have for a new HR leader?
So a HR has two audiences. So the first one is the management, the employer, the person who gave you the job, and you also have the employees. So as you can see, and sometimes these parties, they have competing interests. So HR has to be the go-between the employees and the employer. So the way I look at it and my years of experience, I would say the first job of a HR is to be an advisor to the business. And especially to the management, helping them understand what is expected of them in terms of the statutory obligation, the labor laws. But number two, what can they do to get the best out of their employees? Yeah. For the employers, for management, that is what they expect from the HR. In terms of the employee, an employee expects the HR leader to champion their interest. And like I said, sometimes they might be in conflict with the wishes of the management, but HR should also look at themselves as the representative of the employee. Because if the employee feels that their voice is not heard, their concerns are not heard or taken into account, then chances are they're not going to give their best, they're not going to be productive. Yeah. So I would say HR is actually, for me, it's one of the most difficult jobs in an organization. And I say a HR has to be a politician in a way, to be able to meet the interest of the two parties.
Being the link between the two parties.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
So being an HR leader, I'm new into leadership in HR.
Yeah.
What are some of these deadly traps
Yeah.
that I need to watch out for?
Yeah.
And how best can one be able to avoid them?
Yeah, so now it depends, the traps now depends on the parties that, the HR is interacting with. So in terms of the management and the company, it's championing things that don't have a return on investment, a positive return on investment. So maybe you come to me, you're all excited, you're telling me we want to do team building or we want to do medical cover. They are nice things. But remember, at the end of the day, an organization has limited resources. So tell me the return on investment. Let me see. For example, if you come and tell me, guess what? The last 3 months we've had 5 resignations. In our industry, everyone is giving pension, medical cover. That's why the staff are leaving. You've justified now. But if the conversation stops at, we need a medical cover in this institution, I'll just look at you and think you're just raising cost for nothing. Yeah. So that's mistake number one, not showing the benefit, not justification, not thinking out on what you want to do. Number two, and this applies across board, whether it's the HR is dealing with the management or the employees, is making drastic changes. You come, you're too excited, you are given stories by the MD, you come, you don't even do your homework, and you start firing John, you start firing Mary, you start organizing things. Quick changes are not good. Sometimes I know you might be under pressure, but come try to understand what's happening. Because the management may believe an issue, but it could be something totally different. So whatever remedy, whatever solution you come with, it doesn't work. So people will look at you as part of the solution. Yeah. The other aspect is trying to fight culture. Culture is very strong. So whenever you join an organization, trust me, and especially if the culture is, and here I'm talking about toxic culture, if it's coming from the management, I've seen many HR professionals sometimes even have a mental breakdown because they are trying to, it's like you trying to push this wall. No matter how much Ugari you've eaten, Mary, do you have the energy?
Of course not.
You don't have. So getting to that perspective, to understand that, wow, the issues which are beyond me, and there's only so much I can do. And sometimes giving up is an option, saying I've tried all I could, but this place is what it is, so let me leave it as it is. Yeah. The other bit is also now also being too friendly with staff. So you come in, you want to be liked. HR, like I said, you have to be politician. You have to know when to make people happy. You also know when to be tough, when to put a stand. So I always advise HR professionals, you don't have to be liked. Strive to be fair. So fairness means if it's an employee is on the right and you have to fight for them to management, do it as much as possible. If the employee is wrong, don't hide it because now you think you lack friends. No, be fair. If you're fair, then it will cut across the board. So people know, they expect, fairness, there's consistency in fairness. But if I come here, I don't tell you the truth, then 2 weeks later you are fired. How does that help? Yeah, but if I come, I tell you, Mary, hey, you've been dropping the ball in the last 2 weeks. This is A, B, C, D, and these are the concerns from the management. At least I'll have warned you, and you'll not be surprised. So that way we can still maintain our professionalism, friendship, but still we are able to operate. Yeah. The other bit I would say is also not applying emotional intelligence. Why? HR is in the business of people. So there are instances where you will hear things, they don't need to be shared with everyone. Sometimes someone will react, an employee might get angry, they might even abuse you, whatever, based on situations. It doesn't mean you have to react.
Yeah.
For example, if I come, I tell you you will have a pay cut, is it good news? It's not. So you might be moody, you might not want to talk to me in the next few days, but that's the reality. So I don't have to be nasty to you. It's just to understand that it's human nature, and this is how a normal person is expected to behave. So it's for me to be emotionally intelligent and understand I'm dealing with people, they'll have their best times, their worst time. Yeah. And also, even if someone does a mistake, you shouldn't go with them with a big hammer now, even if it's their first time mistake. Yeah, you don't now go writing warning letters. It's a time to call someone and tell them, no, I don't want to see a repeat of this. Just having a normal conversation. Yeah, an adult conversation. Even if they do it twice, again you remind them. Then that time you can go with the papers, warning letters, such kind of things. Yeah, so that's where emotional intelligence comes in. Yeah.
Great. Quite a lot in terms of the areas to really watch out for.
Yes.
And the best ways to overcome them.
Yeah.
What would be your final advice on how to best way to build a successful HR career?
HR is for you to really work on your soft skills. Yeah. You getting to understand the labor laws, getting to understand performance management. We only account like for 30% of your success as a HR professional. The soft skills really come in handy because it's a people's job. So are you emotionally intelligent? Do you have leadership skills? Conflict management. Are you a team player? Are you able to bring people? How are you able to handle change? So for me, the most successful HR professionals are the ones who really worked on their soft skills. Yeah, the art of self-promotion. How do you get the decision makers to know what you're doing and whatever you are championing and how you are succeeding? Because you could also be working very hard and no one knows. Yeah, so you mastering labor laws. Someone who come from campus within 2 years, they've mastered the disciplinary process. They know the performance management. Yeah. So the more you advance in your career, the soft skills then are more required than those technical skills. Yeah.
Great. Soft skills cuts across and it comes in handy to be able to succeed in any area of expertise.
Precisely.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
As an HR professional watching this video, indeed, it goes beyond just our technical expertise to be able to succeed in that new role as an HR leader, but also working towards building your capacity, especially on people management skills. And this is where we come in handy as corporate staffing services. Quite a number of courses that you can be able to partake or undertake with us and just get to understand how best you can be able to relate, not just with the organization or the senior management, but even with the employees, being the link between the two parties. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Feel free to share with us your own experience, how it has been, and even suggest some of the topics you would want us to cover in our next video. Thank you so much once again for watching.